A Democratic senator, in Nebraska, Senator Adam Morfeld, who's in District 46, it's a district in Lincoln, Nebraska, wrote this op-ed piece in the Lincoln Journal-Star on December 22nd, basically saying that Democrats must court independent voters. He brings some interesting points here. He basically talking about the victory of Doug Jones in Alabama, a state that hasn't elected a Democrat in 25 years, and how significant this was. And there's some good points that Senator Morfeld makes here, but I'll say this. One of the overall problems with the Democratic Party and people that call themselves Democrats is they're so obsessed with winning. Doug Jones won. Yay, we did it. We're going to take back. And that's what they want 2018 to be. Just be victories, just winning. And they're really not about, the Democratic Party for certain is not about any serious change. He goes into it a little bit here, but it's like this is the kind of table scrap change. We're going to reduce the number of superdelegates. No, get rid of superdelegates. Superdelegates are bullshit. Eliminating the number of them is still a weighted scale. It's still nonsense. You're still saying that the primary is rigged. It's fixed, and we can weight it whatever way we want. Anybody comes in and threatens the corporate money, we'll just superdelegate out. Believe me, the corporate money will buy the superdelegates, just like Hillary did when she took over the party in 2015 and locked up the superdelegates before the primary even started. So I'll read some of the points here that he brings up that are worth noting and should be paying attention to. As he said, and he quotes here NBA basketball legend Charles Barkley, who was a native Alabama, asked after the election, said, "This is a wake-up call for Democrats to do better for black people and for poor white people." Jones's victory should also be a wake-up call to the Democratic Party about the power of independent voters, particularly millennials. This senator's a millennial, and the critical need to build bridges to them as early in the electoral process as possible. As a red state millennial and elected Democratic state senator myself, I can attest to two things. We can be competitive as a party anywhere we invest the time and energy to reach out to local communities, and success depends on developing a political culture that can attract millennials, who are now the largest group of voters in the country. 45% of Americans identify themselves as independent voters, while only 25% identify as Republicans and 30% as Democrats. What does that tell you? But of course, as we know, 26 million independents were shut out of the primary in 2016. So here's some other key stats. So Obama won 52% of independents in 2008. Hillary only had 42% of independents. Now, Hillary supporters see that as, wow, I'm going to blame independent voters, not that Hillary ran a shitty campaign, and when you prevent independents from voting in your primary, you're then shocked that they didn't. This is the arrogance of the Clinton and the Democratic Party. You're not allowed to vote in our fucking primary, but you better vote in the general because everyone has to stop Trump. You see how arrogant that is? You see how arrogant that is? I'm going to prevent you from making a free choice, but you better help me then when I ask for it. Really? Screw you. So here's the problem then, the Unity Reform Commission, which he's being critical of. And this is the thing I'm talking about. The Unity Reform Commission wouldn't even, like, open primaries. They wouldn't even address it. Like, nope, we're not having that. We're not having that. We'll just cut back some of the superdelegates, which is preposterous. But here's what's interesting. Now, Nebraska, where he's from, has a top two system. Nebraska has a very progressive political system. And I'll let him explain why it works. And you might say, well, he's a Democrat in a big red state, so he doesn't have a voice. Actually, in a top two system, he does. In Nebraska, we allow all voters to participate in open primaries for the state legislature. In fact, we allow any voter to vote for any candidate, regardless of their party, with the top two moving on to the general election. This has created a body where, despite Republicans accounting for 71% of legislators, Democratic state senators, such as myself, can get a hearing on our bills, build creative coalitions, and actually pass innovative 21st century policies that move our state forward on everything from groundwater use to immigration reform. It has also created opportunities for millennials, such as myself, to have power and real voice in government. You see how that works? Because they do top two and anyone can vote for anybody, so then the Republicans can't just shut out the Democrats. We're in a red state, don't care what the Democrats think, because anyone can vote for anyone. So we actually have to work together. In states like California or Texas, let's say, the minority party doesn't have much of a voice, and the majority party can kind of do whatever they want. So the minority voter, I'm talking about political affiliation minority, not ethnicity minority. So in Texas, if you're a Democrat, you're in the minority of your vote is in the minority, and they don't really care what you think. In California, if you're a Republican, they don't really care what you think. Unless you're in a red district, then maybe that district representatives will care what you think. But overall, they don't. But in Nebraska, this is such an open system, and it's such a great system, and it allows I've talked about this before. So the Republicans can't just shut this guy out, because he can petition, he can say, I'm the sponsor of this piece of legislation here in Nebraska, and I'm going to go to Nebraskans and say, you should support me on this. And anyone in Nebraska of any party affiliation can vote for him or that piece of legislation. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's how Nebraska works. They have a very amazing system. They also, this is not a coincidence nor surprising in my view, the opinion poll of Nebraskans of their state legislature is very high. It's in like the 60 or 70 percentile, if not higher. What do Americans view Congress and the Senate right now? What is it, 20% favorability? It's awful. Because they have a functioning representative democracy in the state of Nebraska. So Democratic Party is basically saying, this is what this guy's quote is. They told independents and millennials, sure, we'll talk to you, but only after you join our party. Right? That's what the Democrats still want you to do. And they still toe this, and then neoliberals drink this Kool-Aid and then shame you because you voted for Jill Stein, or you Jill Stein voters or Gary Johnson voters, you gave us Trump. No. Neoliberal. No. Hillary Clinton's shitty corporate policy, shutting out independents, cheating Bernie Sanders. That's what gave us Trump. That's what happened. Calling things like single-payer health care and college tuition, paying for college tuition, ponies. Those are Hillary Clinton's words. Ponies. Poor white people have gone Republican because the Democratic Party has offered them nothing. And now I did a story, 11%, there's 11% fewer black women calling themselves Democrats now. They're becoming independents. So I'll leave you with his last paragraphs here. If Democrats want to earn the trust of American people to lead the country, then we need to expand the ways we relate to many communities of voters and begin the process of developing those relationships in the primaries, where many of the most important political decisions are made. The two parties know this. That's why they like closed primaries, because they get their person in the primary, then they know they got the general. Opening our primaries to independents is a critical way we can grow beyond being just a coastal party and once again compete in middle America and the South. Independent support for Doug Jones should be our wake-up call to make it happen now. The thing I would add to this is address working class people's needs, not just win. Doug Jones won. Yay! Is he going to address working class people? He seems like kind of a corporate Democrat who just barely beat a pedophile by 1.5%. So if Democrats and neoliberals are just, if all they care about is winning and not changing things, then nothing different, nothing new is going to happen. Nothing new will change. So that's why I support open primaries. Go to openprimaries.org and support that organization and support politicians like this. Because this is what we need. We need real reform. And open primaries isn't the magic, the one solution. We need a bunch of different solutions. But opening the primaries is a start. It's a pretty good start. So I applaud this senator, once again, his name, Adam Morfeld, for writing this op-ed piece. And I would suggest to him that in addition to letting independents, vote and participate, is actually come up with policies that help working class people, not the big corporate donors. That's a way. That's why I'm an independent. I won't even join the damn Green Party. I will not join a party. I will be an independent. Just like no one is going to tell me what to say on this channel. Thanks for supporting, you guys. Tour dates are below. GrahamElwood.com, the Patreon. Make Gotham great. I don't know what that was. That was a weird ending. We'll just call it that. It was a weird ending.